Hello everybody, here is a wee quick tutorial on how to use Scratch, which all the P7s have been using a fair bit this year, so they should be able to get stuck into it straight away and show you what they can do. From the Google Classroom, there is a thread today that has a link in it about Scratch, but Scratch will always be in classwork and down to links, and there's a Scratch link there. So click that and click the link in that. I'll take you to Scratch, or just save the web address somewhere. It's that address. You do not need to sign in or join Scratch or anything like that for it at all. You don't. You can if you want to. You can register, but you do not need to. None of that. This is obviously won't be linked to their C2K account either. Okay, first thing, go up to Create, and that brings you into exactly the same screen. This browser is not supported. Back later. Okay, and we're back. I'd forgotten that Scratch doesn't really like Internet Explorer. It might like your version of it if it's more modern. It does like Google Chrome, so you're going to have to use a browser that it does like. I believe it works on Safari as well. There isn't an app for it, but there is a very similar one called Pyonkee, P-Y-O-N-K-E-E, which is basically a total rip-off of Scratch. Okay, we're in the Scratch now. First thing to do, again, no need to sign in. If you look at tutorials, and the very first one that will give you, the parents, because the kids know this, a very brief outline of how Scratch works. I'm not going to play that now for you, there's no need to, you can watch that yourself. One of the things that we did in school was this one, animate a name. Might be worth watching that to remind yourselves of how you did that. That was about adding new sprites. This little guy here is called a sprite. It starts as this little cat, but you can add all sorts of new sprites there. Does that add new sprite? Yes. Okay. And you can even draw it. That's where you draw your own one. You've all done that as well. Okay. I'm just going. You have so many tutorials there. You could try all of those activities over the next while, and just be creative with Scratch. Scratch can do all sorts of things. I am going to do the thing that I demonstrate Scratch with the first time anybody ever sees it. The first thing Scratch is coding, obviously, maybe should have mentioned that, which is basically logical thinking, putting these steps together in order, seeing what it does, seeing if it does what you expected it to do, and then trying to work out why not, at which point you're debugging, trying to find mistakes in your code, trying to find things that don't do what you want to do, don't do quite what you want to do, or bits of code that aren't doing anything that you just don't need at all. The very first thing I do is I write a reset piece of code. These blue ones are the motion things. So to reset, you want your little sprite, whichever one it is. So we're coding this sprite because this is the sprite that's highlighted. Remember the backdrop one? Some of you had that mistake where you were coding the backdrop, and there are nowhere near as many pieces of code for that. So make sure this is the sprite that's highlighted is the one that you're controlling. At the minute, you can have loads of them. I'm going to, I want him to go right to the middle of the screen, so I drag that and bring it across. You see the way these snap together? Like Lego, something can be added there and there. I want him to go to the middle. I want him to, is the pen thing there? No, so I'm going to add the pen control, because it wasn't there. So you can add different types of controls there. So there's more than enough there. We have not explored all of those yet in class. Feel free to over this period. So he's going to glide to the middle. He's going to, wherever clear is, he's going to erase all the marks on the screen. Whatever's there already, you can take that off and snap it to the top. Any order. So he clears all. He goes into the middle. We want him to face the way he's looking, which is east, which is 90 degrees round. So where's that? Point in direction 90. Sorry, before we glide, take that apart. You want him to lift the pen up so he doesn't make any more marks on the screen. So pen up. Once he's in the middle, you want to put the pen back down. You want to decide what pen colour you want to start with. I'm going to start with that. And you want to decide what size of pen. Careful between the difference between change pen and set pen. Same for colour. So set pen. I'm going to make it 2 because 1's very skinny. Okay. All that would do, if he happened to be over here and facing the wrong way, don't quite know how to turn him. I will turn him with that actually. Turn. Okay, whichever where he was and where he was facing, and if there were lines all over the screen, all that would do is bring him back into the middle eventually. Please do it. There we go, click once and face the right way. Now, I don't want to have to click that to do that, so I put a little control thing on top, which is in here. No, it's not. It's in events, so beg your pardon. When I press something, that thing happens. I usually make that C, C for clear. So when you press C, he clears the screen if there's anything on it. There isn't at the minute. He turns the right way and he goes back to the middle when I press C. There we go. That's a piece of code that you need for pretty much every project you do, because it means you can then test your code from the beginning by resetting. So there. Right, what I usually do after that is I draw a triangle. Show them how to draw a triangle. So you'll see if we go 10 steps, it's not very far. One click does it. So I'm going to change that to 100. Okay, I'm going to try and draw a triangle. Now, a triangle, an equilateral triangle, all the angles we know are 60 degrees. Scratch doesn't work like that. Scratch, because it's a triangle, Scratch wants to make a shape, which means he has to get back to the start, he or she has to get back to the start, which is 360 degrees. If he's doing a triangle, he has to do that in 3 moves. So what you do is you take your full turn 360 and you divide it by 3 and you get 120. If it was a square, it would be 90. If it was a hexagon, it would be 60, and so on. And I'm going to repeat that 3 times. Repeat loops are in one of these. Those look the same color to me, but they're not. Repeat. This is like a wee, it'll bite that. It comes out here, it'll open up round a piece of code like that. Okay. Can't quite get it in the right place. There. There it is. Okay. Just do that again. You see it goes like that. The grey thing opens up round it. That will, if I clear again to make sure the pen is down, that should draw a triangle. There you go. It did it 10 times. That was silly. Triangle obviously should be 3. So let's clear. Draws a triangle. Okay. Whoa, 1 triangle. How exciting. What I want to do now is draw loads of triangles, but not all in the same place. So every time I draw a triangle, I want to turn around a wee bit. I'm going to turn, after each triangle, I'm going to turn them 10 degrees. And I'm going to change the pen color every time so it goes all nice and rainbowy. So change pen color, not shade, is there? Yes, change pen color by 10, which just makes it a different color. Sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that. I then want to repeat that. I've turned 10 degrees and I want to go all the way around. So I'm going to repeat it 36 times. Oh, I got the wrong one again. Repeat all of that 36 times. Your children are understanding this. You might be going, ah, but you'll get it. They've already got it. 36 times. Obviously, if I press that, it would happen, but you want to control it with the keys. So when I press something, let me see if I get the right one this time. That one. Yes. They see these round ones at the top. They start pieces of code because you can't add anything to them. So when I press spacebar, I can make that anything. It should draw a nice little shape. And that's usually the thing I show to introduce Scratch to get a sort of a wow moment. So you better all say wow. Clear, although it's already cleared, and space. There we go. Yay. Isn't that exciting? Don't quite know why the color didn't change as much as I wanted, but there you go. All right, guys, Scratch is a thing. Once you can do something like that, it's entirely up to your imagination, your creativity, what you can do with it. Have a look at the tutorials and see what you can do. Hopefully it'll work out a way that you can get these back to me. I'm sure there's a sharing section in it. We'll find out as time goes on. Guys, I hope you're having a fabulous time at your homeschool. Your parents are stars, and so are you. Stay safe, stay home, save lives.